Come on now, bro. All these pound-for-pound fighters are too scared to fight me. They need $200 million to do it.
I got $200 million for you.
I'm fighting Jake Paul.
Pussy.
Terence Crawford seems to have completely changed his stance on Jake Paul's place in boxing. Not long ago, Crawford dismissed the idea of Jake Paul ever stepping into the ring with a real professional. But now, with rumors that Jake could be a potential replacement for Gervonta Tank Davis, Crawford's tune has shifted. He's openly said that if the right deal is on the table, he'd be ready to make the fight happen.
Jake can punch with that right hand. Like, I seen him, up close in person. Like, dude is big. He's not as slow as people think he is, and he can punch. That's why a lot of people know, like, there was times where, him and Tyson was in the ring.
But now, Crawford has completely walked back his old comments. His tone has shifted, and you can sense a new level of respect starting to build. During an appearance on Logan Paul's podcast, Crawford openly admitted that he had misjudged Jake. He said, yes, he's boxing. He explained that at first, he was totally against the idea of Jake and Logan stepping into the ring. Back then, he felt like they were just using their fame from YouTube to cash in on boxing, while real fighters who had spent their entire lives in the sport were barely making a fraction of that money.
Because check this out, Tank ain't gonna lose this fight. Hell no. Hell no. Tank ain't losing this fight. Too many holes. Man, Jake don't have enough experience. Yeah, man, this gonna be taking candy from a baby. Jake is missing the rules. See, this is what happened when you don't grow up in the game. When you don't grow up in the game, man, at a young age, this is what happens. You start.
Crawford says his change of heart didn't happen overnight. It came after he actually watched Jake Paul put in the work. What stood out to him was that Jake wasn't just pretending to be a boxer or using the sport for views. He was training like a professional, not an influencer chasing clout. Crawford explained, after watching him and seeing the seriousness he's taken to actually train and put the focus into the sport, I was like, this dude is getting better.
It's gonna happen. Ryan Garcia fights for DAZN, and Jake Paul fights on Netflix. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line. Golden Boy has a contract with DAZN. Ryan Garcia has a contract with Golden Boy. And that's just the way it is. I mean, this is business. Ryan Garcia's probably going to rant saying, oh, you're keeping me from making money and this and that and fighting. No, you have to go by the law, by the rules. You have a contract with DAZN.
Crawford's opinion truly started to shift when he saw it with his own eyes. He happened to be in Puerto Rico for a convention the same night Jake Paul fought Ryan Borland. And what he witnessed left an impression. Jake didn't just win that night. He scored a clean, decisive knockout. Crawford was sitting ringside, watching closely, and later admitted, I was sitting there thinking, this dude can really hit with his right hand.
Out of the influencer world would be the most lucrative thing for my career, and I think I was the only one who actually wanted to do it, and actually wanted to go all the way, and that's why I set the goal for myself early to become a world champion, set the bar extremely high, and to just...
Crawford has now admitted that he sees Jake Paul in a completely different light. He's realized Jake isn't trying to skip the line or pretend he's ready to fight elite champions like Alexander Usyk or Canelo Alvarez. Instead, Jake is doing what every real boxer does, taking on opponents that make sense for his level and improving step by step. Crawford explained that many fans just want to see Jake Paul jump straight into a fight with someone like Usyk, but that's not how boxing works. You have to work your way up, Crawford said. And when I saw him live, I gained way more respect for him than I already had.
Boots, kidnapping, all sorts of crazy stuff, guys. If this is true, I just talk about just fumbling the bag. One of the biggest financial opportunities of his career, and he's about to ruin it. It's being reported that Jake's team is offering Ryan Garcia as a replacement for a December fight.
But Jake Paul didn't back down for a second. In a Netflix interview, after hearing about Crawford's crazy comment, Jake responded with confidence. He said, this fight is crazy. It's two of America's biggest names in boxing, and it's a 50-50 matchup because of his skill and experience. But my size is an equalizer. That's what makes it exciting. We don't know what's going to happen.
I see this footage. Look at Tank. Now, if you know what you're looking at,
The guy must be around 150 right now, 153, something like that. And you can really tell when he's sideways. When you look at him sideways and see the depth. See, from the front view, you can't really tell. But when he turns sideways, the guy is a wrecking ball. He's literally a baby rhino out there.
Jake Paul has always been confident, calculated, and a master at selling a fight. But during that same interview, things took an unexpected turn when someone asked him a question that no one saw coming. Would he fight Terence Crawford? Without a second of hesitation, Jake said, "I would for sure fight Terence, 100%. Let's run it."
Oh, not gonna lie, you really got knocked out. Yeah, I really got knocked out. Watch the fight, you idiot. Went 12 rounds. Like, you're weird, bro. Bro didn't even knock me out or even throw punches. That's sad, bro. Just know, bro, I'm coming back. It's gonna be vicious. Like, you guys don't want to see that. You guys are weird trying to troll me over a fight I didn't even care about. God, did you?
From a legacy point of view, this potential fight is absolutely wild. And that's exactly why both Crawford and Jake Paul seem open to it. For Jake, it's not just about the money or headlines anymore. It's about proving that he belongs in the same conversation as real fighters. He's already thinking on that level. In fact, Jake revealed that a fight with Canelo Alvarez was nearly finalized before the Mexican superstar backed out to sign a deal with Saudi boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh.
His height, he's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox.
Now that the Gervonta Tank Davis fight might be off the table, the big question is, who's left for Jake Paul? And the answer couldn't be clearer. Terence Crawford fits that spot perfectly. He's got everything Jake needs in an opponent: respect, legacy, and pure technical mastery. On the other side, Jake brings what Crawford needs at this stage of his career: massive numbers, global attention, and the kind of crossover appeal that turns a fight into a worldwide event.
Beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
There's a huge size advantage, though.
it is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Just a year ago, Crawford wouldn't even mention Jake Paul's name in the same breath as real boxing. Now he's saying, if everything aligns, I'd take that fight. That's a huge shift, and suddenly, the idea doesn't feel far-fetched at all. It's no longer about ego or disrespect. It's pure business.
You know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
Jake Paul's camp is just as calculated as Crawford's. They understand that a fight with Crawford isn't just another paycheck. It's a chance to gain real legitimacy in the sport. Beating another retired MMA fighter or smaller names only gets him so far. But facing someone like Crawford, who's widely recognized as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters alive, is a completely different level.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10.
Anthony Joshua has also weighed in on a wild shuffle of potential opponents for Jake Paul, with 2 former UFC fighters, including Nate Diaz, being considered to replace Gervonta Davis. The biggest shocker came when Joshua's name entered the conversation. What started as online speculation and playful banter suddenly became serious.
Includes kidnapping, all sorts of crazy stuff, guys. If this is true, I just talk about just fumbling the bag. One of the biggest financial opportunities of his career, and he's about to ruin it. It's being reported that Jake's team is offering Ryan Garcia as a replacement for a December.
That's exactly the kind of answer only Anthony Joshua can give. Calm, confident, and ready for action. There's no negotiation, no social media stunt. Just a simple message from one of boxing's biggest names. If the deal makes sense, he's in. But as Eddie Hearn pointed out, making a fight like this happen isn't that simple. There are still a lot of moving parts. especially on the business side.
Have come out and put this fight in serious peril. So much so that reports have been saying that, hey, Jake Paul's team have already started contacting fighters about being a replacement, whether it be for this November 14th date or maybe a date in December. And the 5 names they already contacted are some of the biggest names in the sport.
But here's where things start to get serious. Eddie Hearn revealed that he's already had conversations with Jake Paul's manager, Nikki Sabedarian, about making the fight happen. This isn't just fantasy matchmaking or online hype anymore. Real talks are underway. Hearn also confirmed that Anthony Joshua has been kept in the loop and true to form. His response was immediate and confident. Just let me know where and when, Joshua said.
Listen, he's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people that picking his fights, I can't get my head around it. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep. He'll have a lot of smoke blowing up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit the real 10-ounce, well, I'm told it's 16-ounce gloves now, it's like an exhibition. Right. I'm told it's big gloves and head guards, he's going to need them.
Tank Davis is a natural lightweight, while Jake Paul walks around close to 200 pounds. From the start, that fight was going to be a spectacle. Maybe not the most logical matchup, but one that had fans buzzing nonstop. Now, with the Davis fight possibly off the table, Jake's team is already looking for someone who can fill that huge headline spot.
And the situation, you guys can look into it. You know me, I don't really speak about stuff outside the ring, but now I have to since it affects the ring, okay, and what happens in the ring. The fight may be canceled. It's a civil suit. From my understanding, and I don't want to, confuse you guys or misinform you guys. I didn't look into it much, but from my
true to form, Jake Paul didn't stop at just confirming talks. He went all in. He said, it would be fun to take on Anthony Joshua after this fight, take a massive risk and a massive challenge, and go into a fight where no one thinks I'd even have the slightest chance of winning. That excites me.
We know it's early. Less than 2 weeks, no fighter is going to take that. There will be no fight if it isn't Tank Davis on November 14th. As this moment, there has been no cancellation, but it seemingly is in the direction of Tank Davis not fighting Jake Paul on the 14th. So no fighter, legitimate fighter, is going to step in on 2 weeks' notice, even if it is.
Not everyone is buying into the hype, though. Former UFC champion Michael Bisping had plenty to say about Jake Paul's next moves, and he didn't hold back on his YouTube channel. Bisping made it clear that he has zero sympathy for Jake scrambling to find a replacement for Gervonta Davis.
The retort would be there's such a big weight discrepancy there, right? That's what some people...
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Tank probably sparred like heavyweights or light heavyweights and things like that.
Damn,
so
really?
It's probably nothing that he never seen before. I'm pretty sure Jake never fought nobody that little.
No, it's good. So that's the fascinating part about it.
I feel like it's more so harder for Jake to fight a smaller guy like that.
Bisping went into more detail, breaking it down in his usual blunt style. He pointed to Francis Ngannou, the man who pushed Tyson Fury to the limit, and even knocked him down during their fight. Bisping noted that, by many accounts, Ngannou was lucky to get the decision in that matchup.
So Jake Paul versus Tank Davis November the 14th fight is off. The Jake Paul team have now reached out to Anthony Joshua, Floyd Mayweather, Ryan Garcia and Edgar Berlanga to replace Tank Davis, who is being sued for assault on his ex-girlfriend.
Bisping isn't just talking to stir the pot. He's speaking from a fighter's perspective. Francis Ngannou isn't just a heavy-hitting powerhouse. He's someone who nearly shocked the world in his boxing debut against the heavyweight king, Tyson Fury. Jake Paul might be fearless and confident, but Ngannou represents a whole different level of danger.
Is this really the case? It has been reported by a couple of online periodicals, and if this is the case, then it says something about influencer, crossover and exhibition boxing. Because the reports are that the Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis fight is light by 6,000 tickets.
After Jake's fight with Mike Tyson, Francis Ngannou called him out online, even saying he wanted to slap him. Jake fired back, calling Ngannou a clout chaser. It never went beyond social media banner, but it did plant the idea in people's minds. Still, according to Bisping, that's exactly where it'll stay. Online trash talk, not an actual fight in the ring.
Now, Jake Paul, Tank, how you see that fight going?
Man, that's not a real fight. I like Jake.
Is Tank
It's not a real fight.
It's not a fight. Can Tank have a chance? He's so much smaller. He's a real boxer, but he's so much smaller.
The only two names that could truly create that kind of massive impact are Anthony Joshua and maybe someday Francis Ngannou. If Jake Paul manages to land a fight with Joshua, it would be game over for all the critics. That matchup would shatter streaming records and dominate headlines worldwide.
And a boxing here. So early rumours for the replacement for Tank Davis to fight Jake Paul is Nate Diaz. It's going to be a rematch that no one asked for and no one wants to see. Unless you do. What's your thoughts?
For Jake, whether he beats Gervonta Davis or not, getting someone like Joshua to agree to fight is a huge win in itself. It keeps his boxing story alive and takes his career to a whole new level of legitimacy. Right now, with Nate Diaz, Francis Ngannou, Anthony Joshua, and Terence Crawford all in the mix, Jake Paul's next chapter is shaping up to be as unpredictable as ever. And for someone like him, that's exactly how he likes it. Loud, risky, and impossible to ignore. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below and subscribe for all the latest updates.
I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? What do you think of the fight? I don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually. I'm not hating on the fight, but I think my thoughts on it is let's watch and see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said his boxing's turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. Do you agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's at WWE. So
right.
It's like, at least that's happening and getting something to